about, and a subject that I've known there's all sorts of fucking problems with, and I couldn't get to the bottom of it because all the time you go looking for information, you get controlled information as opposed to accurate information.
Welcome to my world.
And then you popped up and I went, okay, good. Now we can have a proper talk.
All right. So where are you in your flat earth journey? Gun to your head, 3 seconds to answer. Is the earth a spinning globe or a flat plane?
Flat plane.
Flat plane. All right.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. So, but you want to clear up some details. So let's go. Ask me whatever questions you have, and we'll see where the conversation takes us.
Okay. Well, let me just click on record over there as well. I think really it was when I started looking at stuff. I've known for a long time that everything is completely wrong, and it's back to front, it's inside out, and there's a complete inversion. And I didn't see why what we've been told about space and everything should be any different. But when I went looking for the information was a complete mess. So when I did look, some of the ideas that were offered didn't make that much sense to me because I could poke holes in them. So I thought it would be a good idea for you just to start at the beginning, because I'm sure a lot of my audience are going to go, oh my God, not flat earth.
Yeah. So before your audience tunes out, I'm offering 2 Bitcoins for 1 proof of the globe. So listen to the podcast. Think I'm stupid? Then you definitely have a proof of the globe. I'm offering you 2 Bitcoins, and I'm going to show you how to get them by the end of the show. All right.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's funny is I became a flat earther before I knew that all space missions were fake. And people are like, really? And I was like, I guess I've never looked into it. 5 minutes of research. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. But nobody ever looks. And as you said, when you Google flat earth, you're not going to learn anything. You're going to be re-indoctrinated. You're going to give up because of the amount of nonsense out there.
Yeah.
So, when I first got into flat earth in 2015, you'd look at a flat earth video and then YouTube would feed you another great flat earth video and then another and another. And it brought all these people in, and then YouTube realized something's wrong. Our algorithm is bad, and they changed it. So now if you search, top 10 reasons the earth is a globe, well, if you say top 10 reasons the earth could be flat, something like that, you're going to get top 10 reasons the earth is a globe. If you search, fake moon landing, you're going to get pro moon landing videos.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're familiar with my app. I created an app that bypasses all of the YouTube algorithms and shows you how everything's done. It's called the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. It's on Android and on iOS. And basically what I do, this is the challenge I give, since we'll just jump right to it, is in the app, there's a featured video every day. And all I say is, while you're having your breakfast, watch the featured video. I do short ones during the week, longer ones on the weekend. And I watch it for 2 weeks. And if you think the earth is a globe, then send me 1 proof when you're done with that. But so far, nobody has.
I'm not entirely surprised.
Yeah. So you want to start off with space?
Yeah. Start where you think is most appropriate. Yeah.
Well, it's all most appropriate. That's the problem. The indoctrinated argument is, if NASA was lying, the Russians, the Chinese, the Japanese, they would expose us. They're all in it together. The division of countries is all an illusion. It's all to divide us. They know that if humanity unites, the ruling elite are eliminated. They're completely gone. Right? They're not even as important as a gnat. Okay, done. So they divided us by countries. They divided us by regions. They divided us by religions, race, sex. They're dividing the sexes now. They're dividing us by sports teams, by vaccinated, unvaccinated. They're just doing. They're dividing because they don't want us united. They don't want us to know how powerful we are. They don't want us to know that we're at the center of creation. So getting back to space. So they're all in it together. And this is at the date of this recording, a couple of days ago. Are you aware that China landed a rover on Mars?
I saw a video about that, and I thought it was hysterical because it looked exactly like the same video we'd seen before.
Well, my statement is, Cartman and Kyle and Kenny from South Park are laughing at that animation. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's literally worse than South Park, and people just eat it up. I mean, you look at it, and then yesterday, they released 2 photos of Mars from the rover. it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I mean, I could just go out in my backyard and do the same thing, probably better. Yeah, it's just incredible. But here's one that I like to do. This is Elon Musk's, who is a total fraud. We can get into that if you want.
Yeah.
I call it the grain silo, but this is a test launch they did the other day. And if you watch this thing, this isn't a rocket. I mean, we're watching a combination of CGI, a helium balloon, right? The NASA and, you know, the space agencies use more helium than the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing is supposedly going up, you know, it's a million pounds, a couple million pounds, you know, empty, it's 40,000 pounds minimum. And if you look at it, look how we have a side view here and see how this side view, or it's actually already coming down, but it's impossible that the two, when they alternate between cameras, the shot. But if you look at this thing, you see the smoke coming off of it or the steam, whatever it is, you can tell that it's barely moving. This thing, look, here it is. This is how high it is right now, but somehow we have a side shot like that. That's just impossible.
Where's the side shot from?
Yeah, where it's on the ground. Look, up this high, and then we have a side shot at the same time. It's just nonsense. This thing is, you know, 20 tons falling out of the sky, and then this little fire. Now watch, who got underneath this thing? And watch, 2 of the 3 engines turn off, and this little bit of fire, right, is controlling where this thing's going to go, and it's going to land. And all of a sudden, watch all the smoke. Where'd that CGI smoke come from, right, to hide what's going on? And people eat this up as real.
I used to watch something like this called Thunderbirds when I was a kid.
This is worse. Thunderbirds was far better, far better. Okay, this is a landing out on the drone ship. Now, if you know anything about oceans, it's blowing about 30 knots out there. Those waves are 5 to 10 feet tall. You couldn't stand up on that raft, you know, a 6-foot tall person. This thing is like 20 stories tall, and it's landing on this wobbling raft, right? With a little fire and the wind. How do they? The wind would just blow it away, right? It wouldn't land where they wanted it to land, and then it's the dumbest thing ever. Here is a Russian movie from the 1950s.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that one looks more real, to be honest.
Yeah. It's more plausible.
Yeah. And then they have people. I mean, the entire thing is totally insane. And one that I like to go over is the space shuttle. You remember the space shuttle, right?
Yeah.
So whenever that thing took off, it rolls over on its back. You know, and like the first time it went off, when they told everyone, don't worry, it's supposed to be flying upside down and backwards. But when it rolls over on its back, the reason for that is, if I could find my video, the reason for that is that the big orange external tank is filled with helium. It's actually a balloon. It's not a big tank. And I gotta find a better way to find this. It's gonna come up in a second. Where the heck? Oh, here's one of them. So look at this thing. This is there's some winds, and look at this thing. It's bouncing around. Just think of it. Is that 4 million pounds, or is that a bouncy house filled with helium? Okay.
It's not 4 million pounds. It wouldn't budge.
Yeah, it wouldn't budge. And watch this. So that big orange tank is helium. This thing is probably filled with helium too, but it's just a little heavier. And this fence is going to get hit with 25,000 mile an hour superheated winds. Okay. A 300 mile an hour tornado will rip a fence out of the ground. Okay. It will rip concrete out of the ground. And that's room temperature. This thing is coming out 25,000 mile an hour, superheated. And these people are so far away, they can barely see this thing, but they make it look like they're right there. Right. Yeah. It's so far away that without binoculars, you can't see anything. Okay. That's how far away they are. This little fence would be destroyed. And watch, it goes up a little bit and then down again. Okay. That you don't get 4 million pounds moving up and then bounce it down again. Okay. The amount of thrust going here would destroy everything.
Yeah.
This is a light show. This is smoke with lights, bright lights, making it look like it's fire. Right. Yeah. These external rockets here, they're probably offering a little bit of thrust, but they're more of a light show. This is just a helium balloon going up. It's going to roll over on its back. They can control it, you know, where they got their fins. It's like a little remote controlled drone. This thing goes up, it curves away. And then if you just Google space shuttle launch, you'll come up with this video, and it has sound. and it's 30 miles downrange when the external thrusters release. And when they release, there's a charge where it goes, you'll see it and you'll hear as they release. Watch right here, coming, and they're about to release. This thing is going over 17,000 miles an hour right now, probably closer to 20,000 miles an hour. And when these things let go, they're still burning. Why don't they take off? Is my first question is, right there. They turn sideways. How are they not just getting ripped away, by the wind resistance, the aerodynamicity?
Yes.
But when you see that, you hear it at the exact same time. What's wrong with that? It's 30 miles downrange.
Well,
if it was only 20 miles down the range, there would be a 90-second delay at 20 miles.
Yeah.
Okay. There was an argument. Is it 30? Is it 20? Okay. We'll go with 20. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. 90-second delay. If that sound could make it all the way back to you 20 miles.
Probably wouldn't.
It probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's all a stage show. It's all theater.
Yeah.
And people just fall for it.
Yeah.
And then when the tank falls back to earth, it's full. This is 40,000 pounds empty, again, metal tank, steel tank, and it supposedly burns up before it hits the ground and atomizes, right? Does that look like it's about to burn up before it hits these clouds? Now watch right here. You're going to see a piece of paper go by, which is going to show you how fast this thing is falling. It's like a handkerchief fell out of the helicopter that was filming this. There it goes. See it? And so this is a helium balloon being filmed by a helicopter. It's supposedly being filmed by the guys in the shuttle that have already orbited the Earth once and are now just watching that thing fall to Earth. That is not falling.
No.
It's not falling. It's floating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure if the thing, they're supposedly filming it from above, that could be being filmed from below. Right? You said, what do you mean, Dave? What do you mean, Dave, film from below? And the answer is, if I could find my things, I'm all over the place. This is the space station, right? And I say, where is the land? And the Globers will say, well, they're over the ocean. You can clearly see it's the Earth. Well, it's not. NASA has $65 million a day budget. We have zero budget. We took a solar panel. We took a picture of the sky. We turned it upside down. And that's how easy it is to fool people. Okay? That's how easy it is to fool people.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So people go, well, what about, you say the space shuttle doesn't exist. What about the Challenger astronauts? Well, the Challenger astronauts are alive. They all work at universities. They have the same name. They have the same birthday. They claim to be the identical twin of the astronaut that has the same name, same birthday, looks the same, sounds the same mannerism, same everything. Okay.
How convenient.
Yeah. How convenient. It's unbelievable. Like, there's a video we have of I forget her name right now, but this is her as an astronaut. This is her as a Yale professor and doing a lecture. And in the lecture, they sound the same mannerism, same dimple, same hand gestures, same voice. Everything's the same. Now people say, well, she's darker skin here. I don't know. Maybe she's got a tan there. Maybe she, just whatever. But everything's the same name, same birthday. It's the same person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unreal how fake it is. So people say, well, what about the space station? What about the space station? And it's like, if I show you them faking things floating in the air once, is that enough to know that they're faking everything? The answer should be yes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So they got a fresh shipment of food from the Russian delivery system, right? We used to have a fully capable launch and relaunch system, but we gave it up for some reason, right? And they got a lemon and they were playing with a lemon and he went to grab it as it's floating by and the CGI didn't match up with his hand. Lemon is augmented reality. And if you look, it's not really there. They're manipulating things, and they're in front of a green screen and, it's insane. It's crazy. Here's a woman. This ball is filled with helium. It floats. So it's a real ball. But this thing that just beamed in is fake, right? Yeah. She's moving it around. They even put a little beaming thing and a beaming noise when it came in because they're just rubbing it in our faces. This is what's really going on. It's leap motion augmented reality where they're manipulating things.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever saw the movie Gravity, the filming of it, they show them like tightening a knob that isn't there. And then they bring it all in. And you can see, I mean, the green screen technology is super easy. I mean, it looks super realistic. That truck isn't there. You know, none of this stuff is there. She's pressing a button that's not there. Now she's going down in an elevator, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is amazing.
Yeah. So I shouldn't have to go further with NASA, but there's so many things that we fake. When people go, what about some of the launches? Check out this launch. This is a hologram. It's not there. This is like Tupac, when he was on stage after he died.
Yeah.
It's a hologram, right? This isn't real. But sometimes things go wrong with holograms, right? We had some pictures around NASA's lawn and everything. We saw these big lights and we're like, what are these things? And we zoomed in on the picture and we saw the nameplate and we looked it up on the internet. And it was from a holographic projection company.
Stop it.
Watch the top of the rocket. It was from a holographic projection company. Okay.
Oops.
Yeah. And so sometimes they're holographs. Sometimes they're balloons. Sometimes they're miniatures. Sometimes they launch nothing. And they give you a combination of all of these things. Okay.
Yeah.
Where you don't know what's real and what's not real. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is a where is it? There it goes. So this is a very amazing rocket fighter. And if you could hear the sound with it, it's a jet plane or whatever you want to call it, a jet, right? A fighter jet, doing these amazing maneuvers, right?
Is that real? Can't be.
No, it's fake. It's fake.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way they can fly.
Well, I've seen an F-22, do a stall like that, but not like that. But it's kind of believable. But if you watch it and hear it, it looks pretty good. You hear the crowd, you hear all this stuff going on. Totally fake.
Yeah,
totally fake.
It's awfully easy to confuse people.
It is so easy to confuse people. I mean, especially with green screens and these spacewalks they do. When they do spacewalks, they use the Argos system, where it's a system of wires where the astronauts hang. This is what they train. They train the astronauts like this. But if you compare this to an actual spacewalk, it's the same friggin' thing. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes they do spacewalks underwater. Their training facility is called the National Buoyancy Lab, right? And in the underwater, they have a supposed full replica.
That's why they always spin in the middle. I had wondered that. I kept thinking, why do they spin always in the same rotation?
Right. Exactly. Like if I was in the space station, which I'm in the space station, right? Okay. And I went like this, I wouldn't pivot at my hips.
Yeah.
I would just go spiraling out of control and get tangled in all of this great wiring system that they have. Okay.
Yeah.
This is all in complete and total insanity. It's total insanity.
Yeah.
So, how about one more for NASA, and then we'll move on. Oh, so do you know who started NASA? Who besides the other magicians and witch doctors, they had a German Nazi scientist, Werner von Braun, was brought over in Project Paperclip. That's his story. Yep. Don't believe any of it. Yeah. And he was here to run NASA. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. So, so he was here to run NASA. And in 1957, before he came over, he wrote a book called Project Mars. Okay. About a group of people that went to Mars. What?
That's Elon Musk's rocket.
No, this is Elon Musk's rocket.
Oh, that's very similar, but that one looks better.
He wrote a book called Project Mars about a group of people that went and started a colony on Mars, and that colony was run by a guy named
Elon
Musk. A month ago said, I want to redesign my Mars rocket and make it pointier.
What a con man.
What? Yeah. So, Elon Musk, everyone's like, oh my God, Elon Musk, he just crashed the crypto market. He didn't do anything. He is a mind controlled MK Ultra puppet for the elite. Think about this.
I know quite a lot about MK Ultra. My girlfriend's a psychologist, and we're
Yeah.
around that quite a lot.
Yeah. And I think Elon has a huge horseshoe scar on his head that was shown once. I've been looking for the picture of it. Who knows what's going on with him? But he's the
Yeah.
CEO of the largest solar company in the world. That should keep him very, very busy. Not enough. He's the CEO of the largest tunneling company in the world. He's the CEO of the company that's going to merge your brain with computers. That should keep him very busy. He's the CEO of the largest electric car company in the world. That should keep him very busy. He took over NASA. Okay. This is impossible. Elon Musk is a moron. Okay. He's a puppet. And, people say, well, what about, his car? He launched his Tesla into space. Everyone believes it, but nobody's seen it. And if you think about it, you know about when he launched his Tesla into space, right?
No, I didn't.
Elon Musk was testing out his heavy lift rocket and decided to launch his Tesla Roadster into space. And it was a huge event.
Okay.
And this is what they showed us. Okay. Right? Ready. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take a snapshot right about now. Boom. That's a nice poster for every Tesla showroom, right? That should be on the cover of every Science magazine, Time magazine, Newsweek, Cosmos, whatever. All of that stuff. Yeah. It's nowhere. It's in no advertisements. It's not in any Tesla showroom. It's not on a postcard. It's nowhere. During the press conference, Elon Musk, the moron that he is, came out and said, you can tell it's real because it looks so fake. We'd have better CGI. That's what he said. There's so many glitches if you analyze the film from this. Besides the tires should have exploded. Okay?
Yeah.
There's so many things wrong with it, but there's glitches where the earth glitches out, where it's the dumbest thing ever. People just eat it up. People just friggin' eat it up. And now you can tell it was real because they were playing David Bowie's Starman during it. So it was very emotional to watch. It was amazing.
That's doing disservice to a good track.
Right. This is the only proof that we have that the USA landed, or that Elon Musk or whoever it was, NASA, landed a rover with a friggin' helicopter on Mars. You know about the rover and the helicopter on Mars?
I tuned out on the helicopter bit because I couldn't figure out how you could fly a helicopter with no atmosphere.
Right. 1% atmosphere. That's like flying a helicopter at 150,000 feet. But the answer is that they spin the blades so fast that it was able to get lift. Well, then how come they don't create helicopters like that here on Earth to go rescue people on the top of Everest or whatever? Right. Where they can't get up. This is, let me say it again, the only proof that we have a rover on Mars. Okay. Again, Cartman and Kenny and Kyle are laughing. Okay.
Yes.
Because this animation is not South Park worthy. Okay. So get ready. It gets
we have a saying over here, by the way. The saying is really simple. It says, you can't polish a turd, but you can roll it in glitter. And that's what that looks like.
I don't, there's no glitter on this. This is just a turd.
Shit.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. This is the dumbest thing ever. And this is the only proof that we have that we landed on Mars.
The people that did that, 12 years old, 10 years old.
Well, here they are. There's a bunch of people from freshly out of space camp here. There's probably some people in there that do know what's going on. But here's my question is, they never tell you that we're looking at animation. They rolled televisions into schoolroom. Kids watch this at school. This was like forced to watch to, kids again, like the Challenger launch. And no one questions it. But if people say, okay, of course it's CGI, what are they're not going to show, they can't show you real time. And I'm like, well, what if the data came back and said that it crashed? Do they have an animation of it crashing? Do they have another one? Look, high fives. This is it. It's real. That you can't fake high fives like that. Right? NASA, high fives, man. This is amazing. As long as you high five, it's friggin' real. All right. It's the dumbest thing ever. And let's I told you about the Chinese landed on Mars, right? Ready? Yeah. You ready for it? This is the video. This is the only proof that China landed on Mars. First, how did they get a camera on Mars first? But let's,
Well, whatever. That is one of the big problems.
Look at that shadow. Look at the shadow. Look at that thing. Wait, hold on. Clapping or you get your head chopped off. Everybody clap. Yes, clapping. It's real. It's real. Okay. This is ridiculous. Why does that guy have his mask down? That's ridiculous. Everyone's going to get sick. Up hugs. You can't fake hugs like this. This is the only proof. This right here is the only proof that they watch the shadow. Watch this ridiculous shadow.
Isn't there a lack of dust as well?
Well, there's no atmosphere, so how's it going to blow dust around?
Well, there's some kind of force coming out of the light on the bottom.
That's the same problem on the moon. How about this? What is this? This is a photo from the drone that took off the helicopter of its own shadow with blades that are spinning 4 times faster than any helicopter could ever spin. How does it get a picture of a crisp? What do they have, like 1 million times shutter speed? Okay.
I was going to say the shutter speed have to be high.
And where did they land? Right on the solar equator, you know, because it's pointing down. So, you know, and why is every photo of Mars, they have, you know, use a fisheye lens? Why do they make it look like it's a tiny little ball? What is this ball? 20 feet wide? Okay. It's mind control because people see the curve like, oh, you know, it's a planet, you know. Oh, yes.
Is that why they put curves in plane windows then?
Well, you know, actually, structurally, it probably makes more sense. But, you know, if you look through the center of a window, you'll see. But again, we'll get into why you see a circle.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if they actually thought about that, but maybe it's a good question. Just by coincidence, just before the moon landings, we have the NASA administrator, a NASA astronaut, sci-fi author Arthur C. Clarke, greatest movie director in the world, Stanley Kubrick, and the senior administrator for the Apollo project, all together in Hollywood.
Well, what's the chance of that?
Chances are, I don't know, 0 or 100%. Depends on how you look at it. Okay. The thing is, I shouldn't have to go over all of these proofs. They're endless. I should show you one faking of faking, just faking. I mean, these guys, as you said, everything is pivoting. Why do they have these bulky pants on? What is underneath their pants? Why are they balancing from their midpoint? Why every move that they make is, you can tell they're hanging from wires.
Yeah.
Okay. He's hanging from wires.
Yeah.
Look at these guys. Why do they have these heavy utility belts on? Why are they always buttoned up? Where are they getting these fresh clothing? Every time we see them, they have new, fresh, pressed, different color clothing.
My clothes look
Are their
better
pants going to fall down? Why do they have these heavy belts? They're in anti-gravity. I mean, no gravity, not anti-gravity.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest crap ever. Yeah. And people just eat it up. I mean, of course, we landed on the moon, right? Watch this guy. He's hammering a post into the ground and he drops his hammer. Okay. Well, how easy should it be for him to pick up that hammer? Well, it's nearly impossible because he's hanging from wires and he can't get down enough. Okay. He can't get down. He's trying to pick it up and he can't get it. I mean, look at this. And look at his pants. They're filthy. I mean, they're falling around. Supposedly if he got a hole in his pants, he would die immediately, right? Yeah. Well, if you ever dealt with pressure differences, why doesn't he explode like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? I mean, he's in a snowboarding outfit with a backpack on. He's not in an anti-pressure suit, right? Never once have they tested a pressure suit on Earth in a vacuum. They tried once, actually, with an astronaut. And before the pressure was already out, he said the saliva in his mouth started to boil and he passed out and he almost died. Yeah. Okay. They can't do it. I mean, you've seen, you take something, a difference in pressure like that, it gets crushed. You've seen the train car that they suck all the air out of the tanker and it just crushes from air pressure. Yeah. Well, there's the difference in pressure, like the Earth pressure is 1,000 something millibars. And in space, it's supposedly 0.25 zeros and then the number is the pressure. Okay. It's a number. It's so the difference is we can't even create a vacuum like that on Earth. The vacuum chamber that NASA uses has I think they're lead walls, like 10 feet thick, 11 feet thick. Right. Wow. and they can't even suck all the air out of that thing without it collapsing. Okay. but the tin can, the friggin' space shuttle, the greatest technological achievement ever, this tin can, okay, was never assembled on Earth. It was never tested. It was brought up into space and put together for the first time. And some of the compartments were made by other countries, right? And then they knew that everything was going to mix. I mean, think about this. You know, you're building a car here on Earth and getting parts. Everything has to be tested. And so, like, you have a U.S. part and a U.S. part and whatever that is. They had to create an adapter, right, for it to work. Look at this crap, right? There should be 1 billion hours of video of this thing being built, because Mission Control would need to see what's going on. There's zero. There's no photos and no video of it being built. It just appeared. They just said, we're building a space station. Oh, it's built. Not a single. This is the only proof that we have a space station was built, this animation. Okay. And people just eat it up. People just eat it up.
Yeah.
Right. It's unbelievable. You know, here's a little video glitch. Everything that was floating glitched out, and then they cut away to Mission Control. Okay.
Oops.
Yeah. Oops. And then the space fanboys go like, oh, it's cosmic wave compressed, video artifacts. And they'll go like this. And look, my hand's blurring out on my green screen. And that only the things that were floating. This was something that was floating. They're floating. Only the things that were floating. Yeah. Everything else remained the same.
Well, that's inconvenient for them as well.
Yeah. And this is one of my favorites. Chris Hadfield always loves playing his guitar. And this astronaut, they're in different rooms, different green screens.
Yeah.
And the guy that's holding the microphone is misplacing where he is and sticks it into his neck.
Boy, I bet that hurt.
Yeah. He kept singing. Okay. And then they quickly cut away and they changed the scene and but we downloaded it and we have it and they don't. It's very easy to fake anything. People don't realize how easy it is to. Oh, I was a little early. Ready? There you go. Boom. You're on the moon. No, you're in a playground. Okay. Insane, right? This is a photo from NASA's website. It's got the rover, and you could tell the rover got a little selfie of itself.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Greenland. Do you see any similarities?
Just a few, yeah.
Every single tiny everything.
Yep.
And then the Globers will say, "Well, somebody took that and put it in Photoshop and added color and clouds." No, NASA took it and just turned it into a sepia tone and wiped out the clouds. It's the dumbest thing ever. Dumbest thing ever. You want to see Mars? This is what Mars looks like through a high-powered super zoom camera. Our optics have outgrown their lies.
That looks like it's in liquid, doesn't it?
It does. It looks energetic. It looks
yeah.
I say the luminaries in the sky are sentient in nature. Figure it out from there. Again, anything above us that we can't reach is speculation.
Yes.
Okay, where do you want to go from here?
Well, we've covered space. How about the flat bit?
Flat Earth? Are you crazy? Come on, flat Earth.
I know.
So the problem when people laugh at flat Earth, it's because they have a crazy idea what flat Earth is. If I thought flat Earth was what they thought it was, I'd laugh too. This is not flat Earth. Flat Earth is not a disk in space with other round planets or other disk planets. None of that is true. Nobody believes any of that. Okay. What flat Earth is the Earth plane is the basement of the universe. Don't have a better way to explain it. Okay. And we live in the Antarctic basin. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is a puddle in this ice plane. It goes on. We don't know how far it goes on. Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not even ice out there. And all of the continents are surrounded by water, islands, but all of the water needs a container. And that container is the land that we call Antarctica. Antarctica is not a continent at the bottom of a ball. It's not right. How do I do that? That. It's not right there. Right? Antarctica is all of the land that surrounds us. Antarctica is the highest land on Earth. Makes sense.
Yep.
Right?
Otherwise, the water would run out.
If you had a pond and you got rid of the shoreline, the pond is gone. You have a bathtub, you got rid of the bathtub, all the water's gone. Yep. Water, large bodies of water at rest need a container. Antarctica is the container. So what's out here? Well, it's off limits. No one is allowed to go within like 1,000 miles of Antarctica without special permission. And even if you get it, one guy got permission from his small country. And when he got, past 60 degrees parallel, a couple of warships stopped him, threatened to sink him, turned him around, sent him home, and he was jailed.
Nice.
Yeah. This is a map that was discovered in Hawaii, printed in a Hawaiian newspaper.
That makes more sense to me. That makes so much more sense.
So much more sense. Yeah. And then there's other ways you can look at it like this. Maybe we live here in this inner space. Here's Antarctica.
Yeah.
Don't know how wide it is. And then out here are other oceans and other land, extra territory. So if there was extra territory and you lived there and you came from this outer area to this inner area, what would somebody call you? They'd call you an extraterrestrial from the outer space.
That would make sense as well. Yeah.
Yeah. They put the words right in front of us.
Yeah.
Let me share. I want to show you something about why what they do is with words. So this is my app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
Yeah.
You've seen this, yes?
I saw this in a video the other night when I was looking at some of your stuff, and I was like, yeah, I need to get that.
Yeah. So it shows you how the sky is a perfect clock. Impossible in a beehive, crazy, universe, a solar system. None of that. That's impossible. We can go over that. But the sun goes around once every 24 hours. It's the hour hand of the clock. But here in America, I don't know if you we observe daylight savings time, which is fake time.
Yeah.
So it's really an hour earlier than they tell us.
Yeah.
Okay. So the sun goes around once every 24 hours. It laps the moon once every 28 days, plus or minus. And so the sun keeps track of the hours and the days. The moon keeps track of the weeks and the months. And I slow it down. I turn on the stars. The stars go around and they keep track of the seasons and the years. Right now, the stars lap the sun only once a year. So it takes 365 revolutions before the stars will lap the sun. That way, the sun right now is moving into this constellation. It'll migrate through here slowly over the month. Then it moves into the Tropic of Cancer, and it continues on until it is until it resets after the year. So seasons real quick, and then I'll get into the reason I brought this up. Seasons are very interesting. So we have this inner line, it's called the Tropic of Cancer, and this outer yellow line, it's called the Tropic of Capricorn. Everyone's heard those, but they never really understood how is the sun in a tropic? I don't understand. Right. So I'm going to jump the sun forward to June. I go to June, and in June, it's over the Tropic of Cancer, right? We're having here in America, especially the southern part of America, is having our summer. All of the inner north is having its summer, but like here in Miami, it's super hot. Southern California, Mexico, super hot. Japan, super hot. It's like 95 degrees in Japan today. And it comes all the way around, and everything here is having its summer. The closer you are to this yellow line, the hotter it is, right? Australia is having their winter. So is, Cape Town in South Africa, and South America is having their winter. But 6 months later, when the sun migrates out to the Tropic of Capricorn, look, South America is having their winter. And look, Miami is still warm because it's close, but I'm up here in New York, Connecticut area. It's far from the sun and everything freezes. Just that little difference. And Australia is going to be in the height of their summer in December 21st.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes perfect sense as well.
It's the only thing that makes sense. When you really look at the whole tilt thing, if that was true, every day at sunrise, it would be arctically cold. Okay.
Yep.
And did you know during our northern summer, we're farther from the sun than we are in the winter? Okay.
How's it warmer then?
Because that's in the heliocentric model.
No, that's what I'm saying. On their logic, it doesn't make sense.
They say it's just a tilt because we're tilted and we have more direct rays, and it's 93 million miles away, and we're only 3.5 million miles farther away during our summer. So that really isn't much. It's the directness of the angle of the sun rays. And we all believe that. But the problem is on June 21st, I can go down to the water here. I live in a very temperate area. It's 90 degrees in the summer and everything's frozen in the winter. Yeah. So I can go down to the water on June 21st and wait for the sun to appear on the horizon. And as soon as it does, I can feel the heat on my face. That is the most severe tilt we could be away from the sun. It's right on the horizon. It's not up in the sky. It's right on the horizon. And then on December 21st, I can go out at midday when the sun is at its highest point, a much more direct angle, and we're 3.5 million miles closer to the sun, according to the helio-nonsensical bullshit model, right? And I can't even feel the heat on my face.
Yeah.
I can't feel the heat on my face, right?
But in the model you've got there makes sense.
Yeah, that there alone proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. But check this out. So the sun, if I was here in the Arctic, right? I'm here in the Arctic in the middle, and I look at the sun. Everything's about the sun, by the way. What is the sun doing? It's arcing around me. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I know where you're going next as well. Shit.
And if I'm out here in the Antarctica, it's antarcing away from me.
Yeah, right in front of us. Never even spotted it.
Yeah. Antarctic, Arctic.
Arctic, yep.
Yep. And again, when you get into the, well, how does the 24-hour sun work? You know, when the sun is all the way in the Tropic of Cancer, it's very close to these places like northern Alaska and Norway, and the sun never gets far enough away from them where it sets. It's never farther away. But when the sun goes all the way out to the Tropic of Capricorn, the sun never rises in those very northern places because it never gets close enough. It's going all the way around. And the problem is
up in Finland when it does that.
Yeah. So, and the problem is the in the South at the equal latitudes, you should have the same 24-hour sun, and there isn't. There's just 4 fake videos of it. And I'm not just saying they're fake. Go watch the videos. They're fake as F. Okay. They're fake. They're beyond fake. They're done like now. You know what? NASA probably did make those videos because they suck. Right. So the app, listen, so for those of people that want to take that Flat Earth app challenge, is every day there's a new video down here. You just tap this thumbnail, up comes a new video, short videos during the week, a little bit longer on the weekends. And I say, watch the video every day for 2 weeks. And then you too will lose the respect of your family and friends because you'll become a flat earther. But if you still have questions, you click this question mark button right here. And this gets by the YouTube algorithms. You say, what about eclipses, right? Or, you know, why the lie? Or what about seasons, which we just talked about? If I go, you know, what about Southern Flights? That's a good one. So I click what about Southern Flights, and up comes a playlist that YouTube will not serve you. Right? You could search about what about Southern Flights, and you're never going to find any of this. Southern Flights, Flat Earth, you won't find any of these. You'll find all of the shill videos that NASA puts out to control your mind.
Yeah.
The app does a whole bunch of other things. It has tons of other stuff: mud floods, biblical flat Earth. I got all my interviews. Your interview will be here. You just click this button, and up comes a playlist of all my interviews, debunking all the shills. We got videos where we take their videos, and then we just systematically show you why they're lying liars. Tons of stuff there. Playlists in different languages, different stuff that we like. You don't have to buy it. We love it. This is what we love. And I'm adding a book section where we have books and all flat earth related books if you're looking to buy some books. I get nothing for this. These are just links to people's books that are on flat earth. So still in the design phase. That'll be coming out next week. And that's it. One other thing is when the app's $3, it's available on Google Play. And it's available on the Apple App Store. You have to have an iPhone 6 or better, or a fairly decent iPad, or Android. You have to have operating system 8.0 or higher. It's $3, but you will get a little pop-up that says, would you like to subscribe for 99 cents or a month, or $11 for the year? And that's because people asked me if I could add a donation button. They love the app so much. They want it improved. And they said, can we donate to help you add more things? And so I tried to add a donate button, but they don't allow a donate button. So I add a subscribe button. They allow a subscribe button. And the only thing the subscribe button gets is once a day, the thing pops up. It says, would you like to subscribe? You can hit the X button within a half a second of it coming up, and it goes away. It only shows up once a day. And if you don't subscribe, you still get everything. Okay. But I guarantee you that you'll be watching this app every day. You'll be like, oh, what's the new video today? Oh, I have a question. You're going to love it so much. You're going to subscribe because you're going to feel guilty for not subscribing, but you don't have to feel guilty. And I'm telling you, don't subscribe. Just use the app and share it with friends. Don't subscribe. You don't have to. Okay. All right. Because there's other people that are subscribing. So It's all good. And then also the app will show you, like I was showing you stuff, but like if you're there trying to convince a friend, oh, you think we went to the moon? You hit that little image thing. You have all of these images that are just loading because I just loaded the app. And like here, is this a spaceship or a fifth grader homeless tweaker shelter?
Oh God,
this is.
I wouldn't like to trust my life in it.
Yeah, I could see the person ordering supplies to make this. I need 14 rolls of paper mache, 20 rolls of tin foil, some curtain rods, some scotch tape, some foil tape. Foil tape is nice because the foil tape is very nice. It gives it a good look, right? This is ridiculous, but people believe that. This is the helio nonsensical baloney model. All sorts of stuff. And, this is what Venus actually looks like. Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. All sorts of resources in here. We add new stuff every day. And if you're a user of the app and you'd like, oh, I wish you had this image in there, send me the image. I'll add it. I can add it in seconds. And then it's on everyone's app everywhere across the world. This is how a compass works. East and west are circles around the north. The same on a ball too. East and west. If you're in anywhere and you're facing east or west and you start walking east or west and don't keep correcting to the north, you're immediately walking south. Every straight line is south.
I've heard pilots talk about that.
Yeah, you have to constantly correct to the north. I'll show you that when I get out of the app. It also has what else do we have in here? Time zones. Like where are you?
In North Wales in England. Well, in Wales actually, but yeah.
London. So North Wales. So it's like 5 p.m. your time?
No, it's 3:45.
All right. So I don't know exactly where you are, but you're 3:45. So you're somewhere in here, right?
London time zone, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how time zones work. The time zones spin with the sun. Wherever the sun is, it's noon. Okay. Yes. And that's how the time zones work. And again, if you're like, well, what happens to the sun? What happens? How does the sun set? All of those are answered in video format where you don't have to believe. Don't believe me. Watch the videos. Yeah. Don't believe the videos. Go do it yourself. Unlike NASA, you can't confirm anything they've done, right? Another thing is southern flight routes make 0 sense on a globe. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to go from Buenos Aires to Cape Town, you go all the way up here and then all the way back down. That's what this route is. It takes like 29 hours. It should take less than 9 hours flying straight across here. But this doesn't exist because this doesn't exist because this is nonsense.
That's always puzzled me when I used to travel a lot and I look at some of the things and think, why are they taking that route? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Like, and then what happens is sometimes there's an emergency on a plane where a plane has to land unexpectedly. Someone's having a heart attack. Somebody is, just not feeling well or whatever. And here's a flight from Taiwan to Los Angeles. Hawaii is right here. This is the route that they say it's taking. And people go, no, it has to take the Great Circle route. It's got to, the Great Circle route is just mind control. This looks like a straight line, but it really is a curve. Okay. So this is the frigging Great Circle route. A straight line over a ball is a curve, right? So right about here, there was an emergency, had to land. If you're a pilot, you'd probably land in Hawaii. Maybe you'd continue going. Doubt you would turn around and go back. And the last thing you do would be to go to Alaska, but that's exactly what the pilot did. Taiwan, emergency, Alaska. Hawaii is all the way out here. Okay. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, this is the book. Anyone that's a flat earther or wants a cool coffee table book, this is the greatest book ever. It's available on lulu.com. It's like $50, or you can just get the PDF version and look at it online. I love having the book. 16 emergency landings that are insane on a globe. They make 0 sense and they make perfect sense on a flat earth. Every single one of them. Detailed images, pictures, beautiful paper. Greatest book ever.
You did in one of the videos I watched recently, you said Max Egan did a live stream with you and he was flying.
Yeah. So Max Egan was, back early on when Qantas, they all of a sudden started having direct flights from Santiago to Sydney, or somewhere in Australia, Santiago to Sydney. And a lot of flat earthers said, we don't believe that flight exists. It doesn't work because it's impossible on a flat earth in that amount of time. Well, that's assuming you know how fast the wind speeds are and how fast an airplane could go. Well, we did some research into this plane that was doing this, and it's a special plane. It's only flown by a handful of military pilots, and it has 7 layers of heat resistant paint on it. What does that tell you? Okay.
It's going faster than they say.
It's going faster. So Max said, all right, we're going to do a live stream to prove this is real. And we're not going to turn off the live stream. We're going to start the live stream. Max is going to join from his phone at the airport, show that he's getting on the plane, show that the plane took off. Then he took off and we lost connection. Then we tracked it on flight software all the way across, and we're following it. Now it's going from Santiago, near Antarctica, and then over to Australia. That's where they're showing it's going. And Max took compass readings on the flight all the way across, right? And then he got off, he joined back on. We never turned the live stream off, so no one can claim that it wasn't real. So one, we proved that it's real. Two, the time, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense on a flat earth. But then we found out that it, at the heights that it flies, there's like 200 to 300 mile an hour winds.
Jet streams.
And so if the plane just went 650 miles an hour with a 200 miles an hour tailwind, the signs make perfect sense. So this is so Max said he took compass readings, and he had compass readings of north, northwest, and then west, and then southwest, and then south. And he listed the times of them, and he goes, I thought I would be going more south and then, southwest and, on the globe. Yeah. So we took his readings. We drew a straight line from Sydney to South America.
Yeah.
And then we put his readings on there, and it's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened.
Wow.
It showed exactly, because the compass always has to point towards the center.
Yes.
Right. And as I said, you're only going west before you start moving. Once you start moving, you're going south.
Yes.
You can't look west.
No.
You can only look south.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. But then it makes sense when you think of it that way.
Yeah. This is a video I made that went a little viral. This is the magnetic north. I got a magnet here. I got my compass, and I'm trying to push it west. But to make it go west, I have to keep turning, because I have to keep that needle pointed towards the center. Yeah. So I'm dead reckoning 270 degrees west. And it's a circle. Doesn't prove the earth is flat, because it's the same on a ball earth. Unfortunately, on a flat earth, if you go west or east in the southern hemisphere, you should have to correct to the south, but you don't. We have ship captains' testimony that they're always correcting to the north. Okay. Yeah. If you want to dead reckon west, right? Just like I said, the second that thing start moving, it's going south, because that needle is pointing south. Yeah. Boom. I'm heading south. The needle didn't turn because the magnet isn't strong enough. But if you look at it, that is south. Every direction away, every one of these lines moving away from the center is south.
Now, who was it you in one of the videos I saw of yours, the guy tried to circumnavigate Antarctica and went a very long way around, didn't he?
Yeah. So if you believe the earth is a ball, you believe that Antarctica is, 13,000 miles around. So if you circumnavigate it 13,000 miles, you should be able to figure that out. But Captain Cook was the last person to do it. And it took him 3.5 years. He went over 60,000 miles. Okay. Because this is the route that he had to take. He had to go all the way around like that. And you can't do it. We can put this whole flat earth debate to bed in one day. It wouldn't even cost that much. You get 2 planes, go to Antarctica, refuel at Antarctica. You have to get permission, and they'll never give you permission for this. And the planes take off in opposite directions following the shoreline.
Yep.
Right? So 7,000 miles later, they should meet. So 7,000 miles, that's 14 hours. Okay? So in 14 hours, is that right? Is it that long? In 14 hours, 7,000, no, it's not 14 hours. 500 miles. Yeah, it's 14 hours.
14 hours. Yeah.
In 14 hours, they should meet at the other side, but they're not, because if they were right here, one guy's going to go to about here, and the other guy's going to go about here, and they got a long way to go. They're not going to make it, and that's why they'll never let you do it. They'll never let you do it. People go, people have circumnavigated. You guys are cherry picking. And so there was a guy, I think they called him the ZQ pilot, who was going to make the world record for the first southern polar circumnavigation. Okay. All right. This is interesting. And supposedly, you know, we could track them and everything. And here is the path that he took. He's the North Pole, went to Alaska, California, Hawaii, these islands over here to Santiago. Then he went here and he said the weather was too bad at the South Pole. So he had to turn around and come back. So he went up through Brazil, East Coast, and boom. And we're like, all right, well, he had to turn around. So it failed. Nope. Guinness Book gave him the world record for southern polar circumpolar navigation. He got the world record for it. Okay. Because he went to the goalpost, touched it, and then came back rather than go past the goalpost and magically appear on the other side, which you can't do. Chart that on a flat earth. This is what he looked like. This is the world record for southern polar circumnavigation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great con.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
It's insanity.
It's a good con.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they teach you in the indoctrination camps so young. Sorry, schools.
That's absolutely. They teach you about the globe before you can even talk. You know, your parents put a mobile over your crib of planets, probably. You know, NASA pajamas. The Sesame Street has astronauts on it. It's insanity. And then you go to the school. There's a globe in the front of the class.
But it's relatively recently, isn't it? In historical time, it's probably 100 years ago. They used to teach flat Earth, didn't they?
100 years ago, they were still teaching flat Earth in every public school worldwide.
Yeah, because I have maps from supposedly hundreds of years ago. I've got loads of them, and a load of them are flat.
Yeah. So I did an interview, and I'll give you a link to it. You can link it in the description with a woman named Ruth, 102 years old. This was the February of 2020, just before all this nonsense started. And I was interviewing her about the World's Fair, and she had such a great memory. And I asked her what they taught her in elementary school about the Earth. Never mentioned flat Earth. She goes, they taught me the Earth was flat. She goes, but then they changed it some years later. And she told me the whole story, and she broke down in tears when I told her it was flat, and I explained it to her. And it was a video that it's on hundreds and hundreds of channels now, but you can find it. It's just called, just type in Ruth, 102-year-old woman, David Weiss, something like that. But I'll give you the link. You can link it in the description.
Thank you.
And it's amazing. And then we found newspaper articles from the 1900s about teachers being persecuted for trying to teach heliocentrism. This isn't in Catholic schools, religious schools. This is in public schools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the churches tried to keep, like, no, we're not going to teach this, but then they were forced, everything was corrupted. Maybe churches at one point were righteous, but now it's all controlled. It's, maybe there's a couple small churches out there that are doing the right thing, but
it's a huge mind control exercise, everything. And this in particular. And I'm really glad you reached out to me when you did, because I'd parked all this and thought, I don't know whether I can get to the bottom of it, because every time I search, I just get rubbish.
Yeah. So again, that's why I made the app the way it is. It's literally, the app is less, you're not even buying me a whole beer. Okay. And you have it for the rest of your life. Right? What do? You go out with a friend and you have a beer, and just so you can talk to each other. That's kind of like what people do, right? Just so you have some time to talk to each other. Here's what I tell people. You're a flat earther, gift the app to your friends. You can gift it to them. There's instructions in the app on how to do that. You can, or just get them to get it. And then you say, hey, every day, it's like a book club. Just watch the video, and then let's have a discussion about it. When we hang out, we can talk about the video and come up with ideas. You will never run out of anything to talk about. Instead of talking about weather and sports, which are dead, you'll have something worthwhile to talk about. And for those of you going, what difference does it make? I still have to go to work. That's why you still have to go to work, because you don't understand what difference it makes. You don't understand that you are at the center of creation, and that you have dominion over yourself. No one has dominion over you. And you don't understand the power of your mind. Your mind creates your reality. Everything you have in your life is because of the way you think.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. And they've gotten us to the point where they don't want us to think. They want us to memorize, regurgitate, watch television, watch sports, Work until we're too old to enjoy anything, right? They they don't want you to know that you are in control of your life and that there's nothing to fear. Nuclear bombs are fake. Did you know that? Did you know nuclear bombs don't exist?
I didn't, but that makes sense.
Yeah, they don't exist. What about Hiroshima and Nagasaki? They were fire bombs. 3 days later, after they went off, the sandwich shops were open. They were selling flowers on the streets. The trains were running. Everybody was back to work. And only one reporter was allowed to take photos and write articles worldwide. Anyone else that tried was put in jail. Talk about censoring information. Okay. There was a massive reset that happened in the early 1900s, late 1800s. And we're going through it now. Every year, every 100 years, they try again. In 1720, they had the plague, 1820, cholera, 1920, Spanish flu. Everybody was wearing masks. Everybody was getting this, and everybody died, right? And now 2020, where are we? Every 100 years, they do the same bullshit again.
Yeah. No, that's interesting you say that. It's interesting what you were saying about creation as well, because I keep talking to people saying they want us separate because we're the ones creating all this. And if we simply club together, their game's up, it's done, it's finished.
I always think that they've sold their souls for those positions of power. And maybe if you're soulless and don't have any empathy, that you don't have that ability to manifest. And they're using us to manifest the world that they want. And that's why they're controlling our minds. They're having us focus on what they want us to focus on. They program us with Netflix. Get ready for the alien invasion. It's coming. I mean, they're pushing for it because that's going to be the last thing that unites us all into one world order. If the leaders, the supposed leaders of our country said, hey, we're all joining forces, everybody would revolt. No, we're not joining with Russia, screw England, right? But if there was an alien invasion, and things started getting crazy, fake alien invasion, don't get me wrong.
Yep.
Everybody would unite. And Ronald Reagan primed us for that in his UN speech. He goes, if there was ever a force from outside this earth, we would all gather together and put down our differences. Well, that's what they want. That's the New World Order plan. This is a plan that has been, rolled out for forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
that's
here it is. And we're here to see it. But it's not going to work without our permission. Unfortunately, most people are just giving their permission. They're like, go ahead, put that inside of me. It's nonsense. It's complete nonsense.
I agree with you 100%. I think when we come into this life, you're not supposed to lose control of your body. You're not supposed to lose control of your soul. And when you do, that's it. Game over.
Yeah. So we're here in this realm having this experience, and we're not supposed to lose control of our soul or break anyone else's free will. That's it. You can memorize the rules. There they are. Yep. Don't break anyone else's free will. Be a good person. That's it. Don't lose control of your soul. But they're drilling down all of the things that protect our soul. We have these layers: love and caring and empathy and all of this stuff. But they try to, and hope and joy, they try to take all of that away to expose our soul. So we're like, we give it up, we sell our soul. And it's easier, it's easily done because people just cave. Nobody wants to do anything. Everybody just wants it done for them. Nobody wants to think. They want someone to think for them. I'm like, why do you think the earth is globe? Because of science and physics? I'm like, those are just words. I'm like, what science and physics? They're like, all of it. And I'm like, can you name one thing? Well, I don't have to name one thing because it's obvious. I'm like, it is? Go outside and show me how obvious that we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting at 66,000 miles an hour, chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour, moving sideways at over 1,000,000 miles per hour, and somehow everything in the sky repeats all the time. Right? The idea of a solar eclipse is where the moon is 400 times closer than the sun, and the sun is 400 times farther and bigger. Therefore, they look like the same size. And then occasionally they'll line up perfectly. What are the odds that they would line up perfectly once? And the odds are 0.1 zeros to 1, okay? Which is 0.
Yeah.
But the eclipses repeat every 18 years.
Yep.
What does that tell you? The sky is a huge timepiece. We're here in the Earth system. Okay. Yeah. And once you realize where you are, who you are, what you are, then you can take your power back. Right. The only control that the governments have over you is in your friggin' head. Okay. Yeah. If everyone woke up tomorrow and said, I don't even hear what the government says, they'd be gone. They'd be like a gnat. gone.
Yep.
When no one would even notice them. They have nothing, no power. But people give their power away because they're in fear. Fear is the only thing to fear. Fear. There's no fear. You shouldn't be afraid of anything.
No.
There you go.
Thank you very much. One final thing before we finish. In terms of, there was one thing I watched on one of your videos about the Georgia Guidestones and Polaris. That was really interesting as well.
Yeah, so the Georgia Guidestones were built over 40 years ago. And what people, besides having the New World Order marching orders on them, there's a tiny little hole drilled through one of the center stones right there. And if you look through it, remember, we're corkscrewing through the universe.
Yep.
Okay. And if you look through it, you see Polaris. Do a time lapse, all of the stars spin around. This alone proves we're not moving, that everything in the sky is turning around a central point, which is where Polaris is. And then there's also a long slit that has diagonal sides in it. And if you look up through one of those, you see you see the winter solstice. And then you look up the other, it's the summer solstice.
Yeah.
So it's a clock and a calendar, and it's proof beyond any doubt that we're not moving.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They say, in 40,000 years, we're going to have a different North Star. And 40,000 years ago, we had Thuban was our North Star. But we just happen to live in the time right now where the North Star is where it is. And they built this thing that's supposed to last forever, knowing that it's going to be useless in a certain number of years.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say bullshit?
Yeah.
Okay. Bullshit.
Yep. Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
So again, it goes on and on and on. People, what we talked about just earlier, why windows are curved on an airplane. But if you look out even through a non-curved window, you're going to see the same distance in all directions. So I'm standing here, I can see the same distance in all directions. The sky, everything converges at a certain distance. Is that 30 miles, 150 miles? I don't care. Whatever distance it is, it converges. So if I lay that down, I'm standing here, I see the same distance in all directions, but the sky is up higher, it goes farther. So I'll see this curve. This curve is just like looking at it's just the limit of my vision. And Globers will say, this is the curve of the earth. This is not the curve of the earth. This is just the limit of my vision, and the sky goes beyond it. Right? All of these clouds are at the same height. They're all at the same height. Okay. They're not going below a horizon. They're just merging into it. Everything just converges into the horizon.
That would be to do with the optics in your eyes then as well, wouldn't it?
It's the way your eyes work. It's the way the atmosphere works. I mean, when you look up at the sky, we see, the sun appears in different positions for every person. But this was an interesting day where, what are we looking at here? Right? The optics of the sky are no way to determine the shape of the earth, but they're fascinating what's going on up there.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. So, and then the sun clearly isn't going down; it's moving away. It just moves away. And then it merges with the horizon. It merges. And then you're always here on the earth, the atmospheric deck, 10,000, 20,000 feet, that all merges together and it becomes opaque. And the sun just goes beyond it. As it goes away, it goes beyond it. And it looks like it's setting. Okay. And that's what's going on. It's just going away.
But I'll tell you what troubled me as well. If you watch it at the ocean, it disappears above the line of the water.
Sometimes, yeah. It depends. But a lot of times it looks like it's at the line of the water. But if you zoom in, you'll see that's the atmospheric deck of opacity, I call it. The atmospheric deck of opacity. You've seen my Flat Earth Kitchen?
Yeah, the one with the ball and the string.
Yeah. So that basically just shows you how the sun is moving in a straight line off on a level line. And then you have, I set this up. This could be a land obstacle, or it could just be where the atmosphere becomes opaque. And I'm showing that the sun is above it all times. Now I have a camera on the other end. This is from a celestial point of view. This is a terrestrial point of view. It's from the viewer's point of view on the earth. And if I showed you that first, I would say, is this line level? And you go, no, it's going down. It's clearly going down. It's not, it's level. but that's how we see the sun. And then as it goes by this atmospheric deck of opacity, it gets cut off. It's a level line. I'll zoom in even farther. It looks like it's almost going straight down. There's no way anyone that first saw this would say this is a level line. You think that it's sloping down.
Yeah.
This is a level line. This is how our eyes work. And here is what you're talking about. You think the horizon's here, but there's the deck of opacity right there. But without a zoom, you're not going to see that. That distance between the water, what appears to be the water's edge, compresses, and you don't normally really see that. There are days, though, where there is, enough clouds where it's close enough where that happens at a closer distance.
Yeah.
But it's there. There you go.
That's been really interesting.
As John Lennon, not John Lennon, Paul McCartney said, the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, but the eyes in his head see the world spinning round.
Yeah. It's nice how they hide everything in plain sight.
They do. They tell us it all.
Yeah.
But, when you're going back to space for a second, this is the only thing that makes me think that we went to the moon, because this is the Japanese filming the Earthrise. And to me, this kind of debunks the whole flat Earth idea and space being fake. Don't you agree?
No.
What, you think somebody could fake this?
Yeah. I could probably fake it in about an hour.
Look,
maybe
how
2.
far is this model? What is this, 5 feet away? All you need is this little ball of a piece of clay, and then you go to the other end, and I got a stick with a printout of the Earth, of a fake Earth, and I'm just moving it up while I'm filming it from a stick. I mean, I could do it with zero budget.
You could do it with that image that was on all the iPhones.
I don't even want to call it, that fake image. I don't even want to call it a Photoshop, because that's an insult to Photoshop. Right. Hey, you can find me at theflatearthpodcast.com. That's where all my links are. Or if you just want to look for the app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app by Blue Water Bay. Watch out on Google Play. There's already one by the same name, by the Globe Trolls that run the Flat Earth Society, those type of people. Yeah. And if you get the app, that's fine. Just don't send me an email telling me my app sucks, because my app is great. It's the highest rated app in the store. It's by Blue Water Bay. This is the logo. If you're looking at this on a computer screen, just point your phone camera here, and then you can get it. It's $3. You don't need to subscribe, but feel free to support me if you think I'm doing a good job. But if you're like, I don't want to do that, just share it. Share it if you like it. Don't share it if you don't like it, but share it if you like it. And get your friends and family watch it. There's all sorts of stuff in there. Under the web button, one of my favorite buttons is for somebody that's like, all right, show me something good. I got Flat Earth movies, feature length, Flat Earth stuff. And there's no way anybody can watch one of those. There's a whole bunch and not become a flat earther. So there you go.
Yeah. Brother, thank you so much for that, but not just about explaining it, but also because I think it's incredibly important for people to open their minds as to who they are, and getting information like this in is all part of that process.
Thanks, Adrian.
Yeah, you're a good man. Keep at it, brother. I'll speak to you soon, yeah?
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The Flat Earth Sun and Moon Clock app. A dynamic new app to teach family and friends about where they actually live. The sky is a perfect clock. The sun measures the hours and days. The moon measures the weeks and months. The star constellations measure the seasons and years. 12/12 or 24-hour clock face, or go hands-free. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app with new added features. World Time. See what time it is all around the flat Earth. A true Earth compass that shows true navigation across and around the flat Earth plane. Weather. Tap for detailed local weather information. Know what phase and where the moon is at all times. Watch the sun travel between the tropics for the seasons. Select an amazing background. Add your own, or have the app change it to a new one automatically every time you use the app. Add a countdown to your next big date. Learn the truth about our world with the featured video of the day. Web button for additional flat Earth related features, from the mythical curve calculator all the way to Tartaria. While talking to friends, easily pull up pictures that expose the globe lie and shine light on the flat Earth truth. Video playlists in different languages. See the real trade winds circling the flat Earth and clean screen features. Simply click off the items you don't wish to see. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app is the best tool to show your friends and strangers how our flat Earth actually works.